Hi, I'm Tia, and I'm going to explain to you how I bought my house at 19. I want to start off by saying that my husband is in the Army, so we used to be alone. We are both dual income, no kids. And that's how we financially was able to do it. I want to break down all the myths, do a step-by-step for you guys, and help you know how much money realistically you need before you jump into this big financial decision, because a house is a long-term financial decision. All right. Okay, let's start with credit, because that's like the biggest issue that people throw, oh, I don't have good credit, so I can't buy a house. Wrong. We didn't have the perfect credit. We bought the house. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, and it's the perfect size for us. People always think that you need to have an 800 credit score. That is not true. The credit score that you want to have so that you can financially be secure is the 800, but you don't have to have it. Most lenders are looking in the 6s. Some, very few, look below. And they just want to they care about your history. So if your history is good, don't worry about it. If you have good credit, also don't worry about it. But if you are like us and you have credit that's, ooh, and the history, ooh, you want to make sure that you're choosing lenders that will go with you based off of your debt to income ratio, not just your debt. Okay. So what I did, because my husband was away, I had to do everything by myself. I found a good realtor. Having a really good realtor who knows what they're doing, who also owns a house in the area, and who also knows what you're shopping for and cares about what you're shopping for matters. Because I was looking at houses that were $250,000 but had so much damage that I was gonna have to put extra money in it, and I wasn't pocketing anything. The buyers, me, were gonna be spending way much money than the sellers would. It wasn't rational. And my realtor sat me down and was like, hey, you can get way better with a new build. And I know people are like, oh, stay away from the new builds. I get it. I was like that too. The hype around new builds is not there. People scream, don't buy from blah, 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 blah. Don't buy from blah, 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 blah. But honestly, getting a really good inspector and making sure that you also are observing anything that you see wrong, and you are voicing your opinions and saying, hey, I don't want this for my house, matters. Because if you don't do that, then you're gonna get a sucky house. It sucks, but that's the truth. I made sure that I was very vocal. Hey, I don't like this. Can we change this? Blah, blah, blah. And then I paid what was needed for the inspection, because the inspection matters the most. That is key to your house. If you don't have a good inspection, then you can't expect your house to be what you think it is, because you're paying for low quality. You're automatically paying for low quality, and you want to make sure you're getting the best out of this process, which is what I did. So I think I paid $500 for my inspection, which honestly isn't even that bad now that I'm thinking about it, because that has saved me so much. Because there's people that I've seen who say, oh yeah, I want to go with blah 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 inspector, that builder's inspector, who automatically is attached to the house inspector, is going to be like, yeah, everything is fine, and then 6 months later the house is falling apart. So you want to make sure that you're thinking thoroughly and make sure that you have enough money. So realistically, I think we spent maybe $1,000. We didn't do any down payment, because with the VA loan, you're not required to have a down payment. So we didn't do a down payment. No closing costs at all. In fact, we were given $2,200 closing costs. Our builder paid all of our loans that were open off and gave us checks for them. They also paid our property taxes for the year. Yeah, we only put forth $1,000, and that was literally okay. This is one that people tend to miss when or something that the realtor doesn't tell them. When you are in the process of all of the paperwork getting done, or even closing day, do not open up another line of credit. So don't get a credit card, don't take out a new loan, don't go buy new furniture on a new credit line, don't make any big purchases, because that can require an audit. And then after that, everything is going to have to start all over again. We were supposed to close on the 6th, I think, of August. And what happened was we got audited and they made sure everything was correct. Finances, everything. So it took us another 2 weeks to close on the house. Audits happen. You do not want to open up any new lines of credit at all, because if you do that, that makes your debt to income ratio different again. So now they have to assess whether you qualify for the house or not again. So make sure that you have all your finances laid out. Yes, you want to make sure that you have a good amount of money stashed in a bank account somewhere, because you're going to need it regardless. Furniture, pots and pans, decor, like all of that stuff you're going to need money for. But buying the house, you want to make sure that you're truthful and honest, because if an audit happens and you're not telling the truth, a lot of stuff can go wrong easily. So just make sure you're very transparent, you're not opening any new credit lines, and you are avoiding all mistakes. Let's talk about how much it costs. So I think for me and my husband, it costs us roughly about $1,000. I think that's what I said earlier, for everything. So $500 for the inspection. Any fees, we didn't have any closing costs, but there were little things like trash, like getting the trash started, that was like $80. Disconnecting water from our old house to our new house, like all that stuff moving costed to that. But house wise, we only spent $500 for the inspection. There were no down payments, no closing costs. We had earnest money, which was only $50, but we got it back. That was the only thing that really cost. So at this time, honestly, it was less than renting, and our mortgage is less than the rent that we were paying at our other house, which was financially a better move because of the fact that, like, we long term are investing in this house, and it's so much more worth it than renting out a house from somebody, and there's random inspections, you have to deal with no dogs, and we have a puppy. So like there are things that like we needed and we wanted that we couldn't get with renting. So our next option was, let's just go ahead and buy a house. I am not sharing what I did to be like, hey, look what I did, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to genuinely help someone, especially military spouses who, like me, don't have family who are supportive. You know, my husband has family that's supportive. Me, on the other hand, I'm learning life by myself. Like I'm like a kid without training wheels on their bicycle. So it matters to me that someone can see this video and say, oh my gosh, like they did it, we can do it too. And also, like, being married while young and achieving milestones is fun. It feels good, but you also want to be able to like look back and be like, we did this, you know, at a young age. So trying to help as many people as I can, because it was not luck. I found resources that were available. I looked into good realtors. I looked into all the loans possible, found a good lender, and it helped. And I hope it can help you too. If you want more videos like this, always like, comment, and subscribe. I'm happy to make follow-ups, breaking down whatever you need. And I can answer comments in the comment section. I'm here for you. But toodles.